There's been a lot of companies making lights nowadays, right? And some of them can be quite gimmicky, but some of them can be quite cool. Sirui reached out to me. They said, Bobby, would you like to try the world's first bendable LED light? They sent these over my way, and I got to tell you, pretty spectacular. I'm actually got one of them on the side of me here as my side sort of hair light. And this is another one right here. And what they mean by bendable is you can bend it like this. You can bend it like this. All this you can do for the light. How cool is that? It's called the Dragon Light, and actually in the box you get 2 of these. Now, these are very, very bright lights. They're RGB lights, so you can do all of the special effects. I think there's 15 or 16 special effects that come with in these lights. You can do all the colors just like you could on any other light. You got an LCD display here, so you can adjust, or you can go through the smartphone on the app. This is kind of part and parcel of what we've already seen in the marketplace. But what makes this light very different is the fact that you can bend it. And when you can bend it, you can now wrap the light around your subjects, if it's a person or if it's a product. And that makes product photography especially really, really enjoyable to do. And it also makes it a lot easier to do. I actually did take a photo of my Leica M3. It's a vintage camera, and I put it onto a white background, and actually was doing a top-down shot, and I was using both of these lights on the side. Now, I did not connect them, which I'll show you how you can do that in just a second, because I also have a fabric light on top here. I just wanted to see how it would kind of grab around the camera, and it lit the camera beautifully. Now, I have different light sources in my room here. So one of the ways that I judge lights is by setting everything to 4800 Kelvin to see if there is a difference in terms of the light quality. Are the temperatures off by a little bit or not? And I gotta say, I'm using Aputure and Amaran for the most part here in my studio. These matched beautifully at 4800 Kelvin. Now, this side light here is at 3500 Kelvin because I want a little bit more of a warmth here, a little bit of hair light here, just to give a little bit of a break from the kind of blue light that I have going on right now. I mean, you can mix and match these however you want. You can pair them if you want to do that. You can have different colors, even when they're connected together. There is a lot of flexibility, pun intended, with these lights. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the design a little bit on these, and then we'll go into showing you kind of how you set it up and how you can rock and roll with these things. So first and foremost, now they're all individual lights. You've got 2 large lights on each side, and you got smaller lights in here. Now think of this for a second. I've got this Aputure MC light. You've probably seen a lot of these around from various different companies. And this is what I would primarily use to sort of accent my product photography or videography when I'm shooting my B-roll. Now imagine putting 8 of these or 10 of these together, depending on if you look at the size of this, and then putting a metal hinge in between that so you can bend it, and it also has to stay in the position that you want it to stay in. That's a lot of engineering. And so while it is relatively plastic and it's lightweight, and you can think to yourself, is this really something special? This is really cool. So as you can tell, I probably have a couple accessories on the back of it. Case in point, I have this mounting bracket here. Now you do get some things inside the box besides the light. You do actually get, for your light stand, sort of a magic arm, if you will, and you have this bracket where you can actually put 2 lights on here, and you can do it horizontal or you can do it vertically. So Sirui, I guess, is thinking that you can use these also as a main key light by putting both of the lights together. And especially if you're on the go and you want to be out in the field, or you just need a light that just a quick lighting source, you don't want to bring a whole setup like a softbox, this is going to work great because these are all diffused on the front of this, so it's not going to give you a harsh light on that. I can tell you that most of the time, I'm barely setting these around 10%, and they're more than bright enough, especially in my studio. Case in point, my hair light here is set at 1%. Turn it off so you get a sense of the difference here. See the difference? That's 1%. That's how bright it is. And it's a bit of a distance from me. I mean, this is about, if I was to show you on camera, it's like that far away from me there. So these lights are very powerful. And the cool thing about these lights is that it's all evenly lit. Notice how all the lights are evenly lit. Now this is set at 1%, okay? 1%. Well, look how bright this is, okay? You can't even, I can't even dim it down even further so you can actually see the pattern of lights here. You can change the colors if you want. It's just really super bright, man. This is just crazy bright. And the cool thing about having a wrap light is if you want to go to the side, for example, and you want to curve around the person's head like this, usually you would have, I mean, if you, let's say you use a standard tube light, right, would be straight. You get a little bit of that, but with a curve, it gives you a much more natural sort of fall off on the product or on the person as it goes around. The other thing is you could actually connect both of these lights together. 2 different colors, so you could have teal and orange, for example, if you want to have a more cinematic look, or you can have it all one color. So by the way, there's 2 ways to power these lights. In the box, it comes with a power source where you can plug it in, but you could also use NPF batteries on this. By the way, I would definitely recommend, it's gonna add a little bit more weight, but use the larger NPF batteries if you're gonna be in the field for quite a period of time, because these lights do take up a lot of juice. I have two different size batteries. I have a very small, slim NPF battery here. This is not going to last long, guys. This will not last long, especially if you're keeping it on constantly. You take on one side, you've got these, you got a mounting hole too, so you can always mount this to a light stand if you want to do that. And you can, on this other side here, you've got another connection. Locks in like that. It's secure. There's a bit of a switch there. You can make sure it's locked in. And now you have a bendable light that goes over your product. Now, what you can do, which you see in some of the demos, you can actually have small little tripods on each side here, or light stands, however you want to do it. And then you can have it set up as high as you want or as low as you want. And if you want to buy more of these lights, you can do that. You can also make a full circle. You can make it even bigger. You're free to play around with this as much as possible. Now, let me turn this on so you get a sense of it. So here you have it, white and blue. And yeah, you can see on top of me, put a product underneath that. You can go straight if you want to go straight. You can go under. You can go reverse if you want to do that. Yeah, actually hit the buttons on this, but you're getting a sense of what you can do with this. And it stays. So it stays bent. It holds. Pretty well priced, around $200 thereabouts. Look at it on the website right now, and that's with the sale going on. But what you're getting is a really good source of lighting, and gives you a lot more creativity to your lights. And if you want to take these apart, there's just a bit of switch here, and then slide them apart, and there you have it. I like these lights. They're great, and you're gonna find a lot of creative uses for these lights. Photography, videography, it just adds a different dimension to it. But there are some things I wish were improved on these lights. You might have seen me handling them and hearing them, and you might be thinking, they sound a little bit plasticky. And yes, they are made of plastic for the most part. And the plastic, while I guess they're trying to keep it lightweight as possible, is it the best quality plastic out there? Not necessarily. But again, we're looking at a price point around $200 for those light sets, so I'm not going to complain too much. The buttons on this thing are it's not the highest quality buttons. Now, are these deal breakers? No. Again, price point, budget, it's okay. Switch is very easy to hit switches on this. I mean, it's super light. I wish it was a little bit more tension to it so you don't accidentally hit it as you're moving it around, but it is what it is. And I wish there was a USB-C port on this to use it as a charging option if you wanted to do that, or you could charge these NPF batteries with this, but you can't. So some light sources or light panels, when you plug these into the back of it, it actually charges the batteries. It will not do that with these. Also, one thing I wish they did include in the box was, let me explain it to you. So you see this bracket right here? It's designed to keep two lights on it. But how often are you going to use these lights together? I mean, they're kind of designed to be used separately. And yes, you can join them together as I showed you, but they're designed to sort of be accent lights, or you know what I mean? Like lights that are separate, they're from top or bottom or side to side versus right next to each other. It would have been nice if Siri actually in the box would have given two of these, so you can use one panel on one light stand, one panel on another light stand, and a single bracket so you could actually use one light on one light stand and one light on the other light stand. As it's set up right now, you can only out of the box put one light on this or two lights together. But if you want to have a separate thing, you're gonna have to buy another setup from Siri, or go to a camera store and pick up your own sort of rig and do it up that. So it would have been nice if they would have included that option, or at least as you can purchase it, say, do you want two singles or one double? I can tell you in terms of build quality and design, this is solid. This is really well made, and it holds the light in there really well. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. By the way, Siri does have a discount code for you guys in my description. So if you want to pair these up, you can do so. It's no extra charge to you. They just said, hey, Bobby, if you like the lights, you want to share about it, we'll give you a discount code. So that's what I'm doing, because I actually think they're pretty legit. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, helps me out a lot. Take care, stay safe, and I'll chat to you soon.